Every Friday morning, Chief Donald shares money to his children. But when darkness falls, he harvests their glory.
Some houses are beautiful caskets. From the outside, they look like palaces, but inside, they are just waiting rooms for the dead. If you stood at the bottom of Government Hill and looked up, you would envy Chief Donald and Madam Kamsi. Their mansion was white as a cloud, sitting on acres of land. People praised them for being family-oriented because the massive white mansion housed not just the couple, but their adult children and their spouses. Look at how they keep their family together, people would say with envy. In this modern world, to have your sons and daughter under one roof, that is a blessing. But inside the gates, it wasn't a blessing, it was a farm. And the children were the crops. The couple had 3 children, Dozie, the eldest, Obina, the second son, and Amarachi, the only daughter. The children grew up, went to good schools, and got nice jobs. Yet, they were all broke. It defied logic. Dozie was a civil engineer, but he drove a 1998 Toyota that required pushing every morning. Obina worked in a bank, yet he wore shirts with fraying collars. Amarachi, despite her master's degree, couldn't keep a job for more than 3 months. When Dozie married, it was only natural that he wanted to move out, build his own home, breathe his own air. But Chief Donald laughed. "Move out for what?" he said, spreading his arms wide. "Is this house not big enough? Are there not many rooms still empty?" Madam Kamsi nodded, smiling too quickly. A family stays together. That is how blessings last. So, Dozie stayed, his wives moved in, and they had children. Then came the daughter, Amarachi. Beautiful, educated, and chased by wealthy suitors. Doctors, politicians, oil magnates, men with names that carried weight. Madam Kamsi rejected them all. "This one is too proud. That one seems like a gold digger. This one will take our daughter far away." But when Amarachi brought Okon, a quiet, jobless man with worn sandals and honest eyes, he had nothing but peace around him. Madam Kamsi smiled for the first time. "This one is humble," she said. Chief Donald agreed. They welcomed him like a long-lost son. After the wedding, they insisted, no, commanded, that Amarachi and Okon move into the mansion. Every week, Chief Donald gathered them all and handed out money, neatly folded notes counted carefully. He would say, "This is your allowance, so you don't stress yourselves." They all smile as they thank him. The neighbors thought the parents were supporting their struggling children. The truth was the opposite. The parents were the reason for the struggle. They were spiritual vampires. They had locked the destinies of their children in a bottle. As long as the children lived under that roof, their star shone for their parents. Chief Donald's businesses flourished effortlessly. Madam Kamsi looked 20 years later than her age, her skin glowing like polished bronze. Meanwhile, their children looked haggard, aging fast, walking like elephants but eating like ants. Years later, Obina got married to a lady named Imade. Imade wasn't loud, but she was dangerous to darkness. She was a woman who didn't joke with her midnight prayers. When Imade moved in, she felt the heaviness immediately. It was like walking through water. She noticed that despite everyone working, nobody had savings except her parent-in-law. She saw that whenever she or Obina were about to get a promotion or a small bonus, a calamity would happen that would swallow the money. One fateful Thursday, Dozie, the eldest brother, came home early. He had lost his job again. He sat on the sofa sulking. At that same time, Chief Donald was there, laughing on the phone, closing a multi-million naira deal. The math didn't add up. Imade knew this wasn't normal hardship. This was programmed poverty. So Imade went to battle. She didn't confront them physically. She went to her war room, the corner of her bedroom. At first, the parents just found her annoying, but as her prayers intensified, the atmosphere in the house grew hot for them. Madam Kamsi started having nightmares. Chief Donald began losing small deals. They realized Imade was blocking the flow. The tap from the children to the parents was being squeezed shut by her prayers. "Your wife is disturbing the peace of this house," Madam Kamsi would scream at breakfast. "Every night, Shabalaba, is God deaf? She's bringing bad luck to us." Obinna, whose mind was clouded by his parents' influence, turned on Imade. The quarrels were brutal. "Can't you just sleep?" Obinna would yell at 2 a.m., kicking the bed while she knelt on the floor. "My parents are good people. They feed us, they house us. So what else do you want?" They succeeded in attacking and poisoning the mind of everyone against her. Soon, everything became Imade's fault. If a child fell sick, it was Imade. If money disappeared, it was Imade. If business failed, it was her. It broke Imade as she became alone in the house of plenty. But she didn't stop. Instead, she went deeper. She cried while she prayed. She prayed like this for 3 months, and then her eyes start to open. She begins to notice a pattern. Every time Chief Donald handed them money, trouble followed, always. The money was not help. It was a rope. She wanted to tell everyone, but no one would believe her anyway. The next allowance day, Imade did something strange. She took the money, she thanked them, but she did not spend a single note. She wrapped it in a cloth and buried outside of the compound. That week, one of Chief's multi-million naira factory got burnt. The next week, she buried the money again. Chief's accounts were mysteriously frozen by the bank for an audit. The parents panicked. Their source of youth and wealth was being cut off. They looked older. Madam Kamsi's skin turned grey and patchy. That was when she knew. Her suspicions were confirmed. So she returned to prayer, not fearfully now, but boldly. She prayed for exposure, for reversal, for boomerang. The old couple grew restless. Their power was slipping. Madam Kamsi fell ill first. Strange illness doctors could not explain. Chief Donald followed, weaker each day. The house that once felt heavy became restless, like something trapped. Then one night, Imade was in deep prayer. It was 3 a.m. Her voice was thunderous this time. She wasn't whispering. "Let the mask fall. Let the owner of the glory take back their glory." Suddenly, a piercing scream echoed from the master bedroom. Everyone rushed out. Obinna, Dozie, Amarachi, and Okun. They ran to the parents' room. They found Chief Donald and Madam Kamsi on the floor wearing red cloth, looking like they were attacked with diabolic items around them. The hidden safe behind the wardrobe swung open, not revealing money, but old rusted padlocks wrapped in the children's pictures. As the parents groaned in pain, the padlocks snapped open, one by one. Snap, snap, snap. With every snap, the parents seemed to shrink, looking frail and ancient, while the children felt a sudden rush of air into their lungs, like they were breathing for the first time in years. Obinna looked at the open safe, then at his parents, and finally at his wife, Imade, who was standing at the door, clutching her Bible, exhausted but standing tall. The veil lifted. Obinna fell to his knees, weeping, realizing he had been fighting the only person trying to save him. There was no need for a long conversation. The evidence was on the floor. By morning, both were gone, just like that. After their burial, the children moved out one by one, away from the mansion, away from the shadow. The aftermath wasn't instant riches, but it was sanity. Their lives slowly changed. Money began to stay. Only then did they understand. Some houses are not homes. Some gifts are chains. And some prayers, quiet, stubborn prayers, are stronger than any evil sitting on a throne.
And as for the mansion, they say it still stands, empty, watching, waiting, but powerless, because the truth has already been spoken.